Welcome back sa Pixels and Protocols podcast. And kung naalala nyo yung episode natin last week, we discussed about freelancers. And at the same time, kasama nyo pa rin ako, si Prof. Toff.
And Clarky here.
Carl, K-Dudes.
And Juju.
Ayan, so kasama nyo pa rin kami ngayon for this episode. And ano ba ang pag-uusapan natin? It's about monetizing your passions. Marami nang gumagawa nito, hindi na to bago at the same time, alam na natin may nakakagawa. Pero ang tanong, kaya bang gawin sa panahon ngayon? Late na ba tayo? O is it still worth it to pursue our passions to earn an income nowadays? With the advent of technology, etc. So, ano ba mga pinapasok na ngayon in terms of passions? Dati yung passions for me, it was pursuing art-related stuff. Ngayon, marami ng klase ng pag-pursue ng passions. It could be gaming, it could be streaming, etc. So, with our Gen Zs, enlighten us further kung ano ba ang meron pa dito pagdating sa mga passions na meron tayo with the advent of Web3, AI, blockchain, etc. Ano ba mga nakita nyo opportunities around? Pero
before that, meron akong papakita sa inyo guys. So, speaking of monetizing, etong platform na to na nakita ko, this one, which is Attention Live, pwede tayo mag-monetize ng podcast here. So, ito siya. Ito yung platform na yan. Okay. So, i-start lang natin. Parang ganito. Start. Then, aalaw na tayo ng recording. And while we are podcasting ng katulad nito, hayaan lang natin tong phone here para mag-record. And mamaya, imimint natin siya. And doon natin makikita kung paano natin mamonetize tong podcast natin. So, back to you, Prof.
Pero bago lahat, hindi pa alam ng lahat kung ano ang minting. So, ang minting is putting it in the blockchain and immortalized for everyone na own natin talaga ang ating podcast. Not through a server na isang company, but tayo mismo na gumawa ng content. So, ano ba naman ang owning your own content in the internet? So, thank you, Attention.live. For more info, you can check their website here. Alright, so going back to the question. Thank you, Clarky. Kay Dudes and Juju, ano ba ang mga nakikita nyo ngayon ng mga monetized passions? Or kayo mismo na experience nyo? Juju, kay Dudes.
Ang kagandahan sa generation namin, nanggaling kami sa generation of being a content creator. Kasi nanggaling kami sa golden age of YouTube where like YouTubers like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. Doon nag-bloom yung pagiging creative namin.
Hindi si Mr. Beast.
Wala pa Mr. Beast na rin.
Wala pa ba? Sila talaga. Okay. Bago pa.
PewDiePie talaga.
PewDiePie talaga. Okay.
Like ibang-iba dati yung how you sprout out creativity. It doesn't need na parang madami kang camera crew, you need thousands or millions of dollars to produce something.
Yun
It's
yung
just
rise of
you.
YouTubers actually. Year 2014, 2015, doon nag-start magkaroon ng YouTube Fan Fest. So doon talaga mas na-inspire yung mga kids like us pa back then.
How young is kids back then?
Like 14, 13.
Okay.
Kasi yun pa yung start ng rise of vlogging na parang kahit simple camera lang, sumisikat ka na. Parang in Philippines, I think Pam Swing, sino pa ba ang mga year 20?
Jamich.
Nung buhay pa.
Pero Jamich kasi medyo na sila, hindi sila vlogging kasi short films ang Jamich and DXL. So yun yung mga, Lloyd Cadena.
Lloyd Cadena.
The Queen.
Mm.
So yun yung rise na nag-inspire talaga na,
So our generation.
Yeah.
Tapos mabag ka lang that you get paid just by being you, sharing your story or sharing how creative you are.
Imagine, no? Nag-uusap tayo sa previous episode technically na monetize ka lang pag nagtatrabaho ka. But doing your passion, literally just filming from the comfort of your phone, of your home, you are getting paid because of, paano ba? Siyempre, may mga tao alam pero how do you see these people making an income or a living out of this?
There's many ways because income streams in the internet sprouts through advertisement, sponsorships, partnerships with these big companies, even having your own merchandise or own services. So, madaming ways paano kumita. It's just that kailangan kapag meron kang ibebenta or ibibigay sa audience mo, it needs to always align with who you are or your brand.
Definitely I agree. Lalo na ikaw Clark, no, nasa arts ka, etc. What do you think about aligning to your brand pagdating sa mga ganitong tao?
Actually, may, if, I don't know if napansin nyo, pero lately, parang sumisikat yung mga nagla-live sila. Kung ano yung ginagawa nila. May nakita ko ron, nagmamasa ng tinapay. Gawa-gawa lang, pandesal. Meron din ako nakita doon. Nagmamasahe, nagko-construction, lahat yun nila-live na nila ngayon. And I think, passion kasi nila yun eh. Yung passion nila na pagmamasa, paggawa ng tinapay, pagko-construction, ayun, pinapakita nila sa mundo using live. And in terms of me naman, na passion, actually merong ganito nangyari sa akin eh. Hindi ko naman talaga balak talaga mag-freelancing or wala siya sa isip ko. Pero meron akong isang passion noon na gumawa ng website. Umpisa noon is parang gawa-gawa lang. Gusto ko lang magawa eh. For free. Then eventually, hindi ko alam, yun pala yung magsusurvive sa akin nung pandemic ah.
Yun yung avenue para magkaroon ka ng income.
Hindi ko alam eh. Kasi parang gusto ko lang siyang gawin for the sake of, okay, naboboring ako. And at the same time, wala akong ginagawa at gusto ko yung ginagawa ko. Pero di mo ma-imagine, di ko talaga na-imagine na yun ang makaka-help sa akin para mag-survive ng pandemic. And until now, yun yung reason kung bakit ako nagka-freelancing work, nagka-work, and nakapag-ipon right now because of that passion.
Kayo, what can you say about these things na nangyayari ngayon? Ito, most likely kinamulatan nyo, nakita nyo normal. Pero yung mga parents or mga taong nagpalaki sa inyo, the question is, ano kaya yung tingin nila sa mga taong ganito yung kabuhayan or ginagawa? Yung mga tipong marinig natin before, kaka-cellphone mo yan, or kaka-computer mo yan, etc. Ngayon,
Cellphone ka na cellphone.
kanina ka pa na, makain tayo, baba mo yung phone.
Di ba ang funny nga? Kasi before, parang sinasabi nila, kaka-cellphone mo yan. Pero ngayon, pag pumunta ka sa Facebook Reels, puro matatanda. Facebook Reels. Diba? Meron pang font ng color blue, tapos naka-slant, cursive, tapos ching. Minsan, sila pa din yung madalas na nag-Facebook Live. Yung kahit 1 to 2 viewers lang, makikita mo na nag-Facebook Live sila. So, I think slowly nag-a-adapt yung mga boomers, I would say, sa ngayong passion ng mga kabataan when it comes to the internet. It's just that, for me meron pa rin silang thinking na, tawag dito, earning through internet is not a real job. Parang gano'n. Kapag, katulad yung may mga content creators, although hindi ako content creator, pero naririnig ko na parang hindi naman yung totoong trabaho eh. Or yung mga content creators sa TikTok, hindi naman yun, I believe parang medyo somehow naranasan nyo siya as content
Until
creators.
now.
Na parang, hindi naman siya totoong trabaho, bakit mo siya ginagawa? Kasi para sa kanila, ang totoong trabaho, may lisensya, dapat may profession, may degree. So,
Ano naman ang resume mo, content creator?
oo, diba? Pag diba linagay mo sa resume mo, content creator TikTok year 2020 ka, diba? So, parang yun yung pa sa kanila ngayon for me. Na, feeling ko na thought nila na parang, okay, it's just for entertainment, pero hindi ka bubuhayin ng internet. Ayun
Yung lumang kasabihan or dating kasabihan na hindi ka bubuhay ng passion mo. Hindi ka
kaya
puro
lang,
passion.
Passion.
So, in terms of passion, nabanggit mo yung content creation, let's probably dive into sa mga other forms of opportunities online. No? So, pumapasok dyan yung social media management,
SMM.
Discord moderation, yung web design, thumbnails, partly yan. Kasi syempre, hindi lahat pero syempre, these things are, would you say, something na very, sige, nagpo-pause ako kasi nag-aayos. Pause. Okay. Would you say na these type of jobs are not real jobs? Kasi syempre, okay, sige. Okay. No problem. Would you say that these type of tasks are not real jobs na mababayaran? Kasi syempre, some people pay people to do these things. Pero what defines a real job if the most that you do is stay on a social media platform, mag-post? would you call these jobs real jobs, or for you, what defines a real job? Based from the upbringing and the current scenario.
I think we have a like perspective na ang job is you have a job as long as you can provide sa ano or you get to bring food for the table. Ayun yung parang ano ko, perception ko with job. So as long as you earn, as long as nabubuhay ka, you're able to provide. Ayun yung job para sa akin.
Hindi ka
Yeah.
pabigat sa lipunan.
Pero
De joke lang.
we have to put aside syempre yung mga job na alam mo, yung questionable, yung mga nepo babies, ganun.
Oh.
Factors.
Illegal ba yun?
Pero-
Illegal?
Yung mga illegal. Pero if you look at it, as long as you do your job with integrity, you're doing the job that you love, you're able to provide with that job kahit anong klaseng job pa yan, as long as hindi illegal, then it's
Sige.
good.
Julia, Juju.
Agree naman. Pero for me, ang definition ko ng real job ay as long as you make money. It's a
Sige.
job.
Nandun na tayo sa point that it makes money. How about the consistency of making that money happen? Sabi niyo kasi putting food on the table. I think one of, siguro coming from the perspective lang or lens ng mas nakatatanda or mga na-instill din sa akin, would you say kaya nila nasasabi yon is because of what reasons? Is it the consistency of the income? Or is it like the level of participation sa family in terms of expenses? Kasi depende rin. So are you like ikaw yung talagang haligi ng paggagastos sa bahay? Or nakatira ka pa rin sa bahay ng parents mo kahit kumikita ka na? Those are things na kayo consider. Pero what do you think is the major reason why they don't consider these jobs real jobs? Nakakahiyabang maging ito yung trabaho mo?
For me kasi, share ko lang, TMI, yung younger brother ko, hindi si Nathan yung sumunod sa akin na brother ko, digital artist siya. And nag-stop siya mag-college by, I don't know, pero parang nagkaroon siya ng 3-year gap sa college. Kasi nag-focus siya sa digital as a digital artist. And 1 year lang yung pagitan namin. So ako, while I'm finishing college na, siya nag-stop siya to focus, or mainly because hindi actually focus para kasi during pandemic na. So parang nakita niya na, okay, kumikita ako dito as a digital artist. So ba't pa ako
Aaral.
mag-aaral?
Quote and quote.
Oo, yun siya. Bakit pa siya mag-aaral? So siya yung side namin na creative talaga, as in talented at all. Pero parang pinupush pa rin siya ng mom ko na kumuha ng parang ano ba yun, mas
Degree?
consistent na trabaho.
I see.
Ayun dun papasok yung tanong ni Prof. Na parang for my mom, hindi siya pa-considered as trabaho kasi commission lang naman siya. And as we all know, with commission, hindi siya consistent. So, kung kailan lang may papasok, na magpapakomisyon, tapos yung rate, isa pa yun, hindi mo naman may instill yung rate sa lahat ng
Clients.
gusto mong, ng clients mo. Minsan talaga, pag gipit ka na, bababaan mo talaga yung rate mo eh. Or minsan kahit hindi mo naman gusto yung dinodrawing mo or parang hindi mo siya art style,
Pero yun yung
gagawin mo
pinagawa.
siya eh, kasi papatulan mo talaga for the sake of money. So, in our experience, parang ang perspective ng mas older sa amin nung time na yan, hindi siya totoong trabaho if it's not consistent. So, hindi siya based sa field, or sa ginagawa mo. Mas nagre-rely yung older sa amin when it comes to consistency ng trabaho. And same with me. Parang for me, ganun na rin yung na-instill ko na if it's not consistent, then it's not a real job pala. Kasi, tawag dito, baka project lang siya.
Project-based.
Parang ganun. Baka
Project-based,
project-based
yeah.
lang siya. Baka wala ka talagang trabaho. Baka unemployed ka talaga. And hindi ko naman binabash na unemployed. Ang sinasabi ko lang, pag employed ka kasi parang stable yung trabaho. Pwede pa parang yun yung connotation na parang pag employed ka, may stable kang income eh. Pero pag unemployed ka, it's either sideline, ganun. So, somehow, yun yung na-instill sa akin ng mga mas matatanda sa akin. And hanggang ngayon, parang yun yung iniisip ko na if it's not consistent, then maybe it's not a real job. Then maybe you're not employed at all.
No.
So, ayun. How about?
Hindi ba parang nag-evolve lang naman kasi yung trabaho? So, if iisipin mo dati, nung panahong wala pang kuryente, may mga trabaho noon na tigasin din sila ng poste. Isipin mo dati, nung wala pang printers, ang trabaho ng mga artist noon is tiga-type or tiga-paint mismo ng billboard. Pinipaint nila yon. And eventually, as the technology nangyari is nawala yung mga work na yon and napalitan sila ng iba naman, which is naging digital artist, yung iba naman is naging electrician na dahil nga sa mga poste, ilaw. And kung isipin natin, nag-evolve talaga yung trabaho. For example, right now, in the age of internet na, so halos lahat na ng trabaho kailangan na ng internet. And ang mga natitira na lang na work right now is yung mga brick and mortar, yung mga kailangan ng hard work or kailangan nasa office ka para may makausap yung mga clients, etc. Pero ngayon, dahil nga mostly ang mga companies is kumikita na through online, through internet, then same as the employees. Internet na rin sila kumikita. Internet na rin sila nagtatrabaho, kumukuha ng jobs, etc. And right now, parang nga nakikita ko, pababa na ng pababa yung mga hinahire ngayon because of AI. And I think that's another evolution of jobs.
Okay, dudes, anything to add?
I totally agree naman with Julian na if it's not consistent, you shouldn't like put a label on it na it is certified na that it's a job. Pero as Clarky said, na parang as we move forward, mag-iibat pa rin yung definition niya. So as of this moment, yes, it's not a real job, pero what if sabi mo 10 years from now, na parang it will be normalized na palipat-lipat ka ng ginagawa, pero since ayun yung trabaho mo, solidified din as ayun yung job mo.
I think the answer to the question could also be the system on how you make an income.
And it depends on the field.
Yes, demand.
Kasi katulad na sinabi ni Clark, totoo naman before, nung wala pang internet, yung mga trabaho, mano-mano talaga. Pero, ang tanong is, yung same, yung example na parang pagkakabit ng kuryente. Demand kasi yun eh. Comparing to these kind of gigs na hindi naman demandable ang magpa-commission maya-maya ng
In demand, you mean?
ng drawing.
Hindi siya in demand.
Oo,
Seasonal
hindi
siya.
in demand. I mean, kung gusto ng tao magpa-drawing, dun pa lang siya magpapa-drawing. Kung gusto ng tao na magpagawa ng tawag dito, magpagawa ng something out of their passion, magpagawa ng music, dun lang sila magpapagawa. Pero unless kunin ka talaga ng tao na yan to consistently do that, like every day there's a system, then dun ko lang siya masasabing job. I think at the end of the day, it really depends on the field, on the system ng trabaho siya. So, ayun, dun ako. Pero for me, if parang going back sa sinabi ko kanina, if it's just commission, then I don't think that it's a real job.
Sige, let's drill down a little bit further dyan. No? So, paano yung live selling na commission-based?
Ang live selling commission-based, araw-araw ka namang nagla-live selling.
So, it's not a real job pag wala kang kinikita sa na commissions? Kasi pag walang sales, wala commission.
Pero araw-araw ka may ginagawa.
So, it's
Consistent yun.
Consistent yun.
Kaso wala kang
consistent
kita.
siya.
Consistent kung may ginagawa. Yung kita mo, hindi consistent. Pero may ginagawa consistent.
Yan. Kasi for people who are engaging in the space, there's that connotation na basta may ginagawa ka, may kita ka lagi. So, you have to understand na the industry you're in should have a demand for whatever you're doing. Like for art, kaya ka nasabi mo example, not everyone needs art
Every day.
every day. Unless there's a big demand like produce. Like there's a big startup era na puro lahat kailangan mag-produce ng art. Also, kaya nga meron mga artist lang na pili na nagiging like painters of a generation or whatnot. It's limited in supply, hindi siya commission. So depende you dictate your income as a freelancer. Yes.
Yes.
But you have to understand na pare-pares kayo ng ginagawa. If 100 people can do what you do, mas mababa ang pay sa'yo as compared sa 100 lang kayo sa buong mundo. So, consider also then yung demand and supply. Kaya nga, if you're doing these jobs, mas nauna ka matuto ng skill na to, ehem AI, ehem Web3, blockchain, whatever, you are given a better shot at a better income. Kasi before the world standardized the pay or the skill, nauna ka na. Ikaw ni nagtuturo, hindi pa alam ng lahat. And that's the current setup for me why freelancing right now and the Web3 and the AI industry is booming with opportunity. Kasi kung ayaw mo aralin kasi, ay nakakatakot, di ko alam. Nung first year ng internet, first month ng internet, sinong kumita ng malaki? O kaya yung first year ng cellphone, nagka-SIM card, hindi nyo naabutan siguro. Yung cellphone, before cellphone.
Ay, hindi na.
Di ba?
Yung Blackie, akala ko,
Sinisigurado ko lang. So, kung naabutan nyo yun, siyempre yung kumita nun, yung nagbenta ng SIM card. Di ba? O kaya nung cellphone. Ngayon, magbenta ka ng cellphone, madali ba magbenta na?
Hindi na. Saturated
Hirap
na eh. Ang dami mo ng
Kasi
competition.
normal na siya. So, in the same manner, if you are a first mover, that's the term in business, or if you are a talent, diving into a space na hindi pa, I would quote and quote, explored, uncharted waters pa siya. That's where opportunity is. Kasi yung ibang tao, takot sa risk. May trabaho ako ngayon. Tapos tatalon ako dyan. Anong guarantee ko? You don't look for guarantees in freelancing or in life. Why? Sino bang nabuhay na alam niyang hindi siya mamamatay? When you look for guarantees, you're avoiding risk all throughout. Mahirap nang walang risk sa buhay. Kasi parang apak lang ako dyan pag may sure na. Pero kasi may mga tao talagang ganun. Kailangan safe. Kasi meron na naka-angkla, may anak na, may pamilya na, or meron talagang binubuhay. That's why they can. Pero habang at your age, wala pa namang anak, wala pa namang binubuhay, you're given that liberty to choose where you can go. And with these type of jobs, why do you think the younger generation wants these type of jobs? Is it freedom? Is it the pay? Is it a prioritization of a global access? Kasi may iba, may kanya-kanya reasons. But if you were to narrow it down to 3 things, maybe, ano sa tingin nyo yung, bakit siya sobrang compelling? Try ko nga. Kasi kung ikaw 15 years old, ano yung nakita mo, kanila PewDiePie? Ano yung mga nakita nyo sa ginawa nila, na sa tingin nyo, pwede ka, no? And so forth. Ano ba yung the globalization, the internet culture, what has it educated your generation perhaps on the opportunities of the internet?